Welcome back to Bradley Central High School here on the BCHS Bear Network. I'm your host, Gary Ownbey. Talking today, we've been talking about a lot of sports and things happening here at Bradley Central, giving you a little slice of life here. Being joined today by a couple of our teachers here, and we're going to talk about eSports, which is an up-and-coming competitive sport across the country, high school level, probably even middle school, but college certainly, and so forth. In the pros, a lot of guys make a lot of money off of eSports. I mean, make a living off eSports. But Robbie McIntire is over information technology here at Bradley Central, and our master welder, Jeremy Seagle, is over the welding system here at Bradley Central. Welcome to today's program. Glad to have you join us and get you out of class for a few minutes to talk about some things. But first off, let's just sort of define what eSports is to the students and to the people, the general public, you know, Robbie.
So eSports is basically competitive video games. I always get a little chuckle when I think of it because I'm like most people in traditional sports are the sports, but this has really taken off in the past 10 years. It's something like you just mentioned that people do professionally. They make a lot of money doing it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money out there, a lot of advertisement, and for us, I think the big reason why we wanted to get into it is this offers kids an opportunity to do something that's not the traditional sports route and lets them be a part of a team and a part of an organization, really.
You may not be an athlete, you know, may not be, you know, gifted and talented in basketball, wrestling, baseball, whatever, but there's always something that you can do if you just search and find it. And Jeremy, I know you're assembling a team. You've already had the fall season, getting ready for the winter season here pretty soon, but which group are you over? Which, the video group?
I coach the Call of Duty team.
Call of Duty.
Yes, sir.
So guys that are good at Bradley and Call of Duty or think they're good,
Yeah.
you know, they can get
Come
on
see me. Yeah.
Come see you. So that's how they get involved there.
Yeah, they can, if they're interested, if a student's interested, I tell them to just come see me. I'll explain the rules. Like this last season, we changed video games. So it was Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Now this season it's Call of Duty Cold War. And the platforms changed. It was a 2v2, now it's a 4v4. So I explained that to them, and then we're actually about to have tryouts today. And you think tryouts?
This being the 13th of January.
Yes, yep, 13th of January. You think tryouts for video games? Kind of what Robbie said sounds funny, but I mean it's competitive, so you need to find out who the competitors are.
Are you good at that game yourself?
I'm probably not as good as my students, as my players, honestly.
That's okay, though.
Yes, that's okay. I'm not the one playing, they are, so I'm just there to help them with strategies and things like that. So.
And there is a lot of strategy in there. My grandson, who's a sixth grader, he wants to be a YouTuber. That's his career goal, to be a YouTuber. And, you know, do coding or whatever and play video game stuff like that. Maybe it'll work out. I hope, just as long as he's got a job doing something, making money.
Yeah, right.
Well, Robbie, what group are you over then?
I'm over the Siege team. It's a 5v5 strategy FPS game, which is first-person shooter. It's a lot of fun. I tell my kids the thing that's interesting is when they start off, they think, well, I just need to go in and shoot and do all this, and it'll work out. But the ones that actually make it and are successful in it realize you've got to do a lot of communication, which I think get swept under a rug a lot of times with thinking, you know, well, this is just video games. Well, I always tell my kids, I said, when you really start breaking it down and looking at it, you've got to know where your teammates are, know where the other team is, and know how you're going to move together as a team. So there are a lot of components to it that do sort of build on that communication skill that are the soft skills we try and teach every day in our classroom.
Absolutely.
So that's sort of the benefit of being a part of this.
Well, I guess from year to year, the different games would change. I think last year, Mr. Schroyer saw they had the John Madden group.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Jace Patterson, last name?
Standards.
Sanders, yeah. He finished third nationally.
Yes.
I mean, third in the country. That's pretty dang good.
One game away from playing for a $1,000 scholarship.
And he's over here wrestling right now. But anyway.
And that's a big thing. You know, that's one of the biggest reasons that I decided to do this was, you know, there is possibility for these students to get money for college.
Yeah, there's college teams out there that they recruit you.
Yes, absolutely.
They recruit you like a sport athlete in traditional sports.
The league that we have actually has a spot on their website where you can go and put your information out there, and colleges contact you about recruiting opportunities, which blew my mind at first because, I mean, I don't feel like I graduated college that long ago, but this is not a thing that was even an option then. So it's really nice to see the avenues to get to the next level of education has opened up so much, and this being one of them is really sort of a fun thing to be a part of.
Well, I'm trying to wrap my head around this a little bit more. We go to basketball to watch a basketball game. We go to the football stadium to watch football, baseball, and so forth. Where do you guys compete? I guess, Jeremy, throw that back at you. Do you get together as a group, or you're home individually, or?
Both.
Okay.
So last season, we set up our matches to be played here, okay, in Mr. McIntire's room. But with COVID restrictions or people being quarantined, the great thing about eSports is you can play from home. You know, the students can log on and accept requests from the other team, and we can play teams from all over the country. The last team we played was from Texas. So if there was, like, I had an incident where I had a student that was quarantined, and so I told everybody to go home, and they can stream. Like I had a student who had a YouTube account, and he would stream the matches on his YouTube account, and I was able to watch from home as well.
Okay.
So.
Well, I was going to ask you, when you're competing now, are you competing as Bradley Central against a team from Texas?
Yes.
As a group, not as individuals?
Correct.
Okay, that was something I want to get clear there. So you can just do it anywhere you want to. And I guess like anything, we're here to educate kids first. You know?
Yeah,
We've got books and computers, things we're trying to teach kids. And I guess one of the things you want, hey kids, make your grades. You know,
Yes.
This is not something you want to go home and play games all night long, come in here sleep at school. Take your grades first, just like we do with anything, and then have the fun and the games and all.
And that's been sort of a great thing that I've been able to. A good friend of mine is Ben Smith, our wrestling coach, and he does a social contract on his wrestling team every year, and each one of them have to sign it. But about midway through last year, that was something that I just sort of felt like, you know, we should have some of these things nailed down, because last year was such a whirlwind, and, you know, we were only here till March, and we had to go home. So, you know, the benefit was our eSports were the only thing that was being played that had the Bradley Central tag afterwards. You know, Jace got to compete nationally, and everybody was sent home, but we got to continue going. And we did the social contract this year, and one of the things, you know, you mentioned grades. You've got to have a C average from all 4 of your classes to keep playing. And you know, the focal point is not going to be go home and play video games. No, you have to have a grade point average to play. You have to have a C average, which I felt was fair. You know, that's C is average, so we need to at least be there or better to be doing this.
We were talking earlier. You have 3 seasons, I think, like winter. Fall, winter, and spring, I guess that'd be sort of the breakdown there. And how long do those seasons last? How many matches do you have, or how does that work out?
The fall season you have 2 preseason matches, which are warm-ups, typically to get kids used to how things, because you have rules, the way you're supposed to do matches, things like that, and times that you have to be in there to communicate with the other team for them to select your team. And so you have 2 weeks of preseason to get used to that, 8 weeks of actual season, and then the postseason after that, which the top, for both of our respected games, the top eight get to compete in the postseason. And I think he had, for his competition, there was 280 teams nationally.
Wow.
And for mine, there was 180 as well.
So if you're not in that top 8, if you're
Correct.
number 9,
it's competitive.
Sorry, maybe next year.
Out of 280, so it's. I mean, you're getting up there with kids that are very dedicated to what they do.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this too. What got you interested in this? I mean, are you a gamer yourself? Do you like playing the games, or did it just sort of fall in your lap, or did you say, "Hey, I'd like to sort of be involved in this" when you heard about it?
I was actually lecturing my intro class, and Mr. Schroyer came over with a class full of freshmen and said, "What do you think about starting eSports?" And I had about 30 freshmen that all just, they were like meerkats, just immediately just up on. up in arms about it. And last year was a really special group for me. That was that group I had that had stayed with me for so long, was really interested into it. So I thought, we'll start this, we'll see where it goes. And it's just taken off from there. And it's just been a ton of fun. I mean, the kids, for me, it's an opportunity for kids. Like I said, I played baseball here at Bradley, but a lot of my friends didn't, and they didn't have an opportunity to connect in a different way. And this is, we get jerseys for these kids. They have to go out and raise sponsorship money. We don't get athletic
It's just like
money.
any other sport.
So it's I mean, they're fully bought in, and my guys are committed. They love it.
Yeah,
they really enjoy it.
And Jeremy, how did you get involved in it? Did Robbie drag you into it, or did
I wouldn't say drag. Okay, I wouldn't say drag, but he came and asked me. He just said, "Hey, look, I'm thinking about starting a eSports league here," and he didn't know this at the time, but I'm a gamer myself, so I was intrigued, and I said sure, and it was kind of a very quick answer, but then afterwards I got to thinking about it, and it really made sense because we have a chance to help a lot of students.
Well, that's good. I remember maybe a year or so, maybe even more, Mr. Schroyer brought it up to me. He said, because we were doing a lot of interviews with different coaches and different sports here at Bradley and with the administration and all that last year. He said, man, we got to get a handle on this because this eSports thing is going to be a prolific thing across the country for kids who are
growing.
Not necessarily athletic traditional sense, but like to play the games, like to be involved, like to be in a team sport, have the camaraderie and all that. And I like the fact that social contact, I like that. That shows, we got our brains right about, hey, first and foremost, educate people, and then
Priorities got to be there before you can do anything else.
Yeah, and this is open to students at all grade levels, 9 through 12.
Yes, all grade levels can compete.
Okay, like I told you, my grandson, who's at Lake Forest now, I told him about this last year. He said, "Oh man, I can't wait to get to Bradley, play eSports." So he's on it, all his free time after he gets his homework done. But I think it's a great thing for the school and the community and for the kids. And one more thing I didn't think about: boys and girls.
Yes.
We both actually have mixed teams. Abby Shelton she was on our team last year and is one of our leaders this year on our team. She's my lone senior that I'll lose this year. And then Madison Bohannon.
Yes.
Is on his team, which she was one of the first members of the Call of Duty team.
Yes, she was.
And has really been our anchor this year to help us out and stay steadfast and strong with it. Which
How many people are on the team typically?
I only had 2 last season.
Yeah.
Because I just had one team of 2. This season I'll have 4 plus an alternate. I have one team of 4 plus an alternate.
So you have to pick out what you so-called starters. Okay, this.
That's what the
this
tryouts
guy or
are for.
This girl is more proficient at this game. Let's let them take off, and if they have a problem or somebody else can jump in next time they do whatever. I don't know. It's just like a regular sport.
As weird as it is to say, it really is. I've got 2 teams of 5, and 2 alternates, and so, I mean, my second team is mostly underclassmen to develop them for when my other groups leave. So you've got a role to fill.
Is there a hotbed of this, like around here, wrestling goes through Bradley County, through Cleveland, Bradley County, and state of Tennessee now. Across the state, are there a lot of teams in the state that are doing this at this level, or is it more just open nationwide? And is there a place like, well, teams from California, they kill us every time, or can you see strength? We're pretty dang good from what I understand here, but it's like anything else. SEC football is the best in the country.
Yeah.
You look at other sports in certain areas of the country better. Is eSports, have you seen that yet? I mean, is it way too early to?
We're this past fall season was the first season doing Call of Duty, and this is only we did winter last year and then spring, and then we've done fall as well. I haven't seen the trouble with looking at it in that broad spectrum is we've never played, the only place we have played a team that was the same area was Illinois. And we've played 3 teams from Chicago. It's only been 3. And that's over the course of 60 matches. We've played 3 teams from Chicago. the good thing, the neat thing to me about esports is, Walker Valley's got one as well. They don't play any of the games that we play. They play a game called Smash Bros.
Who determines which games you play?
It's ours is determined by, do we have a teacher that will take that team? And that's what I always tell the kids. I am good to take on any additional thing that we can fill a team with. We just have to have a teacher that will be with it. It kind of sounds funny, but it is a huge time commitment. On Thursdays is when the Siege team plays, and we play at 5 and 8 o'clock. And the funny thing about it is they have to be on an hour before to get warmed up, get your mind back to doing
Block out
strategic
all the noise.
stuff, and and the match takes 2 hours. So when they start at 5, that may be the last time I see my kids until the next morning, because they go 5 to 7 in their match, and then I'm on with the next group getting warmed up, and then they go from 8 till 10 in their match. And so it's from 5 to 10, we're sort of gone, and I want to make sure that there's going to be a teacher to watch them, to help them, make sure our grades are right, stay on top of them, make sure they make the match. They're not just having to forfeit left and right.
So you're doing yours on Thursday night now. Jeremy, do you do yours on a different night? Call of Duty?
Last season, my matches were on Fridays, and then we had a makeup day of Sunday. So if for some reason they couldn't play Friday, we could play Sunday to make up the match.
Leads me to another question.
Yeah.
What would cause a match to be delayed if a team can't? Weather, maybe.
Student, something's
students not showing up,
sick, or students not showing up. They got to work. They got called into work, or something like that. That's typically the only reason. Because if they can't come here, then like I said, they can always play from home. So.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. There's a lot of stuff going on there, and we're just trying to get down there and let people know what's going on. And the kids, Ms. Short said he had a good response last year when they was trying to get from interest created, and obviously it's worked out pretty good. And I hope it continues and grows like other good sports. A good, clean sport, you're not going to get hurt unless you get carpal tunnel or something, from doing that all day or whatever. But injury-free, so to speak. Is there a fee associated with being on the team?
Yes.
Yep.
What do you expect the kids to do?
Each fee is different. Madden this year was supposed to be $100. They ended up discontinuing Madden for some reason. The league doesn't do it, which really hurt us. I hate not letting Jace compete, because I really felt like Jace was going to win us a national title this year, which really would have been really cool. Yeah. My team is $150, and we have a sponsorship letter written up they can take to any business, and it offers different levels that they can join on our sponsorships. I think the Call of Duty team was $100, and that just we pay $2,000 every year to be in this league, to have the chance to compete and the chance to earn scholarship money for our kids, and that $2,000 just covers our league fee alone. That doesn't cover jerseys or equipment if we want to buy equipment. The goal essentially one day we were talking about is to have all of our equipment here in-house so that the kids can just come here, everything's paid for, everything's taken care of, and we can just house them here instead of asking them to have their own equipment.
Right now, they're bringing their stuff from home every time, back and forth. So we would love to be able to have the equipment here where they can just come, show up, and play.
Wow. Well, I'm sure down the road, if things continue the way they are, that it will lead to that, and you'll have the whole process set up there, and just have like a team room or something. Who knows?
Correct.
Anyway, well, guys, we appreciate both of you coming by today, taking time out of your schedule. Jeremy Seagle and Robbie McIntire talk about esports here at Bradley Central. It's an exciting thing. I know a lot of folks don't completely understand it, but the young guys do. The young guys and young girls. If you've been through the middle school, high school years, even the adults, hey, we know what video games are all about. I remember playing Pong back when I was a kid, and that tells you how old I am. We thought, golly, look at this here, everything. But we're going to wrap it up now. Thanks again for being here. We'd like to wish everybody the best of luck here. Everybody stay safe. Wear your mask, social distance, just like these guys are doing here. And until the next time, we'll talk again. We'll just say God bless and go Bears.